Mike, is there any personal animosity towards Top Rank or anyone that works there at that promotion?
Nothing personal. It's just business. And I know that in the end of the day, if they need me or I need them, it's all business. I mean, I honestly believe Bob didn't know all the details regarding my case and my situation. A lot of it was misinformed maybe or misinterpreted by both parties. It's just business.
Why did he stress you turning down the Crawford fight so much towards the end of it? You guys announcing that you were released?
Maybe they told him that they did offer me a fight when it never happened. If he's got somebody working for him and they want to show the boss that they're doing their job, they might even lie to him, telling him, oh yeah, we're offering him fights, but he keeps turning them down, or he's asking for too much money. Whatever reason, just to make the boss happy. In reality, they never offered a single fight. That fight was never even talked about, never offered.
What was never about that one? What was the situation with that one? What was different with that?
The Gamboa talks were still in effect back before all this started, back in I think February, March, when we were talking about Gamboa. First thing was the purse that they offered compared to what they told me Crawford was making was not something that we agreed. When they finally started to negotiate a little bit better on the purse, they wanted for me to fight at 130. I said no, we got to move up to 135. And the last thing that we didn't come to an agreement was because they wanted me to sign another extension to my contract, which I believe was already up February of 2014. So if they want to sign another extension, that means we got to renegotiate. My contract is up. They didn't want to renegotiate. They just wanted an extension on top of what I had. Those terms were set from 2009. That contract was set in 2009. I said, no, we cannot do this. You want to renegotiate? Let's do that. When they said no, then I'm free. They said, no, you're not free. There's an extension already that applies. Well, if there was already an extension, why do you want another one? And then their response was, then you're just going to sit. We're not going to fight you. I said, okay, then that's what I'm going to do, and let's do that. They tried to push me around. I didn't let that happen.
Throughout that whole process, prior to you coming this close to Mayweather, did he ever talk to you or have a conversation? Because he had the same situation with Top Rank. Did he ever talk to you about this?
I never spoke to Floyd about my situation. Nobody wants to get involved. While I was in litigation, nobody wanted to talk to me. We briefly would hear other people that work for certain people or whatever, promoters, hey, maybe we can talk to you, maybe we can do this. But as soon as they see that there's litigation in process, everybody backs away. And recently Floyd told me that, now that I'm back, we can, sit down and actually have those conversations. But before that, no one's willing to talk.
Hold that against the promoters and kind of just maybe start your own promotion, being that everyone kind of turned back away.
It's not
regarding.
It's an ugly job. It's an ugly business. It's an ugly sport where, like I said, sometimes promoters do get away with a lot of things. Sometimes a promoter tries to muscle the fighters into certain fights, into certain positions. They don't offer anything, or they offer only what they want for their advantage, in their best interest for their company, not for the fighter. I understand this. It is what it is. It's not going to change, a whole lot. You can change a little bit, but if you change it for yourself, it may not change for everybody else. I wish it could change for everybody. I wish it would be easy for all the other fighters, up and young coming fighters that are, going through similar things or on the verge of maybe becoming something big, but they're trying to, maybe in a way hold them down.
Maybe some of the guys at the Top Rank roster are getting more of a push than you did when you went on top. Maybe like they're being favored.
You're for the way I seen it and the way I very clearly, all we are is Todd DeBuff kept claiming, he kept claiming that he builds product. He kept, every time that we met with him or every time that I heard him, legally, he kept saying that his company builds product, and that's all we are to him. We are just product. It's like an assembly line. You have a fighter, they build you, they grow you, they groom you, you're a champion, and if you're gone, you're gone. They're on to the next one. It's just an assembly line to him. They're just building product. He kept emphasizing that, and I clearly see it. I was gone, of course they're not going to focus on me anymore. I mean, if they were still my promoters, they should have kept promoting me or offering me fights. They obviously didn't care for that. They went on to whoever was next. And that's the way the company works. But when you speak to them, they as a fighter, they want to sweet talk you as much as you can. But when you really see how things work, it's not like that.
And with you having those differences with them and you noting that you were like Lomachenko, you were welcoming him to step up, would that that be a possibility? Would you work with them in order to make a fight like that? Because that would be a big fight, and would they have to take up like 135?
Look,
or would you
there's a few things that have to happen in order for a fight with me and Lomachenko, obviously, to come to fruition. One, we got to be in the same weight class, and it has to be worth it for me, for him, the networks. I mean, Manny Pacquiao and Floyd took 6-7 years to finally get done, and that's because it was such a huge fight, So if the right time comes and the right fight, the right money for both parties are up, of course you're willing to work with them. You're willing to work with anybody. That's the fact why I accepted the release at the day that I did. Just in case we ever needed to work together, that possibility is still available. I could have asked for other demands before they released me. I had them in a position where I could, really harm them if this went out the next day for court hearing. But they just wanted me out of their side. They wanted to release me. And I said, okay, for that reason, because I got advice from other people to just accept the release and walk away. Let's just keep going. Let's move on. If in the future you may actually need to work with them, or they may need you, and if you put all these demands right now, it might not happen in the future. So that's why we're still here. Like I said, we'll definitely work in the future. I don't know if it's gonna happen right now, or which fight it may be, but who knows? It might happen.
What are you looking for in
a fair deal, a fair business partnership. Where it's clear what he's gonna make, what I'm gonna make, and for them to disclose everything up front. No hidden agendas, no hidden numbers that you don't find out. You want to make sure that everything is done the right way, that it benefits me as a fighter, not just the promoter. I get the promoter has to make money. He's promoting the show. He's putting a lot of money up front to hopefully make a profit. But he needs to be able to tell me up front what he's doing. I don't want any secrets, no secrets.